Hi everyone, it's Bart and Stacy from the Sound Couple, and we're headed off to another bar gig. And according to our Trifecta idea, we have the right place, or we have the known place, we have the known equipment, and this time we have a new band to us, although you might recognize a familiar drummer. So that's what we got in store for today.
Oh, what you're saying is it's referrals.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we're back at a familiar club with our PA, that familiar gear, and then with the new band. The club we is one of our favorites. We're very familiar with it, but the band is not. And so I think for the most part, when we're working with new people, hopefully there's some discussions prior to the day of, and we're not all just showing up figuring out what to do. And in this case, it was even more important because we're breaking out a piece of gear, Stace, we have not used or we don't use very much.
And how long have we owned it?
About 7 years.
And this is which time we're using it?
I think the second time. But it got me thinking about it. It's like, well, here we got this piece of gear that's just been sitting there. Was this a waste of money? And my conclusion was, no, it was not a waste of money. So this piece of gear is a seismic audio splitter snake, 32 channel splitter snake that we're going to be using to interface with their monitor system and our front of house system. And for those of you that are familiar with seismic audio, or if you're not, they are considered a budget or even quote cheap line of products. However, the one thing they do is they offer solutions, like off-the-shelf solutions that you just don't see from, or you'd have to custom order from some of the, better quality brands. So you're going, well, all right, why would you buy a cheap piece of gear? Well, part of it is balancing that investment for your use. And in this case, for our use, it is a piece of gear that we don't use very much. It's serving a particular purpose when we need it, and we didn't spend a lot of money on it. So I'm not disappointed, Stace, that this is the second time in 7 years that we've used it. It's a piece of gear that, as long as it's treated properly, I've seen seismic audio snakes in installs, whatever, they're gonna get beat up within 6 months to a year of having bad channels. But like anything, if you take care of it, it will serve you well. And that's where, even with the cheaper stuff, generally, yes, you get what you pay for, but if you take care of it, it will serve you for the purpose that you need it for too. I hope that made sense. I'm actually kind of excited to use it. The other thing I'm excited a little bit about is just kind of getting over our hazer. We ended up buying a new pump and replacing the pump. This is going to be our first gig with the new pump. But Stacy, I don't know, we forgot how the hazer should work. I think that was part of our issue. We had it in the blizzard one time. Yes, it worked, but now it is working awesome. So I am looking forward to finally getting our hazer back, using it in a way that it's not stressing us out. So stick around, everybody. We got a lot to show you, and we'll see you there at the gig.
G49, G49.
We are going to be getting our stuff staged so that we can just roll it in. And
Did we get lucky, or what's the verdict?
oh, yeah, we did, because it's the last game.
All right.
If they were going to go on for another hour, that would suck. But
No, this is fine, but it just kind of makes you stop for a second, because you walk into a room full of people and you're going, uh-oh, nobody said anything about bingo, but yeah, they'll be done shortly. It's not really going to impact us at all. And even with that, we're at this point a little bit on the early side. So no concerns, but it had us going there for a minute. So this is a pro tip from the Sound Couple. When you're wheeling with casters, make sure your equipment is at an angle so they don't all hit. So you don't have two of them hitting at the same time. You want them at an angle. That way you won't wire it. It won't flip on you. So we learned that because we've seen guys go like this, they hit a bump like that, the whole rack ends up flipping over. Okay, we got the sound couple train loaded up. We're gonna head in. Bingo is over. There's been a clearing. By the way, we got really lucky we got this spot for the time we got here. Now let's see if we can go put a stage together, Stacy. I don't know how comfortable I am just like leaving this out here. Let's take a look and see what we got. But things like this, why don't you just stay here?
Okay.
Sound couple is always about security first. Well, we got all the gear in here. Now we're just
Yes, we have all the gear in here.
I was just waiting. Well, Stacey, we're about ready to run the Cat 5 here. And the last gig we used our Cat 5, if you remember, Stacey,
Yes, I do.
we had a end that would not fit into one of our stage boxes. I'm guessing it got stepped on, or probably harder than stepped on. It got sandwiched somehow. So the barrel got a little bit bent. It was really hard to see, but it was. This is a PreSonus snake, and with amphenol connectors. And it took a little bit to find one of these to get a replacement. But I was able to find a website that had the connectors. We had to buy the whole connector and got the replacement, but I was surprised how somewhat difficult it was to find a replacement connector. Okay, it's 4:05 and
So what, half hour, 35 minutes since the last check-in?
has it been that long?
Feels like it.
We ended up moving the final table out after they asked the people to leave, but we're starting to wonder. We just finished putting the stage together. We have our Cat 5 ran and we have the console in place. I think we'll be fine, and now we just gotta kind of go a little bit. The band is doing, or we're not wiring the stage until the band gets here, and I didn't mention that earlier. So they're supplying their own monitor rig, which I'm glad I asked a few questions because they don't have a splitter on it because they normally run their own sound. But for tonight, their rig is only going to be used for monitors. That is why we brought this system, so we could split our signal. But they said they would bring all their own mic stands and stage lines, and that is what our plan is. The other thing we're doing that's a little bit different for this room, for us, is they're going to be using in-ears, but they also wanted wedges across the front. Wow, that's weird to see because we've never put wedges in this room, and they're taking up a little bit of space. Well, that's what you get with wedges. But there we go, right there, wedges.
Is that, or should they be on the floor, but it needs to be on the...
Well, I think they go on the floor. I think we need to put them on, which we don't have a lot of something to put them on. I don't know. Yeah,
It's kind of tight.
that is tight. I don't care to have them on the floor, really. Right on the floor. I don't know. We'll have to... I don't know. Maybe we can use our cases. They're not the best for that. That's where not having road cases kind of is a bummer, that we don't have stuff we need can really put stuff on. They'd probably use chairs, but that looks like... I don't like using chairs unless we absolutely have to. Could use the multi-cart, at least maybe for the middle one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. Let's use the multi-cart for the middle one. And we'll have to put a cheat sheet over it. And then these we'll just leave on the stage. The big W of the seismic audio, 32 channels per stage. I don't remember the specs as far as the length. It's like a 15 and a 25, I think, width. You know, design-wise, it is a solution. Again, you can't get these off the shelf in very many, I don't know, at least I've never been able to find, but, you know, it's an as-new shape. We've only used it once, and I think I paid at the time, I'll check what the prices are now, but I think at the time I paid $250 or something for it, maybe $300. Be interesting to see the prices now, but it's a beast, and you know exactly what we need to get the job done today. So let's see if it works. As I'm running this, I'm thinking we've sold all of our analog snakes.
We
This
have.
is all we have, and kind of forgot how big and bulky these things are, but this one I'm not going to let go of. But we've had a 32 by 16, or I'm sorry, a 32 by 24, 150 foot snake we sold with the isolated transformers. I mean, it was the king of snakes, analog snakes. We had another 24 channel, 24 by 4, I believe. So 24 inputs, 4 cents. We got rid of that. Yeah, gone are the days for the sound couple of wrestling with these things. But, you know, do what you got to do to get the job done. So Stacy, clarify my last statement when I said we don't have any more analog snakes.
Yeah, we don't have any more. We don't have any. I don't know.
These are sub snakes, Stacy.
Sub snakes. That's the word.
We have sub snakes. That's an 8 channel. That's like a 30 footer, and then this one in her hand there, that's a 50 footer. And then we're using our Medusa here. We're providing that as a front whip for them, running over to the stage box just so we don't, I don't know, I have something, I just have an issue. Home running from the front of the stage, I prefer a front whip, so we put that there as a courtesy. We got cables out for their monitors. The monitors are going to be run off their board. I don't know where it's going to go, but we got plenty of tail there. We can go over there, we can go over there, we can go over here, wherever they want to go with it. And then we'll run our monitors into there. I believe they said they have an XR18 Behringer, but it is 454, and I think I just need to, I'm going to turn on the speakers. We got to turn off our boost on the subs, because when we're running 2 subs, I don't need to boost any more low end. And then I'll turn on the, I'm gonna need a short extension cord for the front of house, and we'll get front of house hooked up. Yeah, we're making great time. The lights are all ran. We decided to forego the double stack, and we decided to forego 2 speakers. We listened to you guys in part just to stay within our budget. You can kind of maybe think of monitors are replacing another speaker. That really isn't needed, truly. We've done much bigger rooms with just one. And what were you say?
Can I also point out another thing? I know that in previous videos, we've had a lot of comments about, isn't that overkill for the system? Because we used to bring, we had brought in 2.
I know, and part of that, I just commented on that.
Oh, okay.
Part of that is for the type of show we're putting on for our clients, and it's the system idles. It feels like it's not like the days of past where a system needed to be pushed to kind of open up. At least our system, the CDLs, they just sound good at any volume, whether they're idling or whether you're opening them up. The CDL12s will be working probably a little bit harder if there's people in here, but still fine. I said we listened to them.
I know, okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to reaffirm that.
Okay. Wanted to point out, we've shown our DSP through Works controls before, but there are some controls on the back that give you some limited options that are, I guess Works control gives you some more extended options. But the one thing we can do on the subs is go from P1 to P2, and that it's on P1. On P2, it gives us a 3 dB boost. When I'm running dual subs, I generally, not pushing that enough. There we go. When we're running dual subs, we don't want the boost. All right, onward. Well, you got to show them your new T-shirt, Stacy.
I know. It may look somewhat familiar if you caught it on another of our videos.
I'm guessing some people are already familiar with it anyway, but we caught ourselves before all the food was done, and it's 5:17, and we're giving ourselves some time to eat. Stage is set, systems tested as much as we can, so we're just waiting on the band. The band.
Band is set up. Working on making sure we're all patched in correctly.
We're done now.
Can't tell. Everything's plugged in there.
It's got 3 channels.
Yours just sounds different than mine too. We have the same mic. He's got an upgraded. Hey. Hey. Hey.
It's all a projection. What's up? What are you standing so close?
Oh, this filled in, didn't it? This filled in.
Check.
I'm good. Does this look familiar? So what we're doing is we're checking the fronts and their monitors. They're running their monitors off their X-Air. So we're letting them dial in their monitors as I get the fronts.
That makes a lot of sense.
It does. Efficient. Two birds with one stone.
Yes, we like efficient.
Yeah, overhead is probably optional in here, especially since he's got a vocal mic.
Oh, yeah.
Check, check. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey.
Well, Stacy, with our newly refound faith in our hazer that it's going to do a good job for us tonight. Another thing we're doing is that I'm going to be controlling it with Luminaire. And the cool thing about Luminaire, you can build your own profiles, which once you figure it out and know the fixture and how the DMX assignments work, building it isn't bad. But they include a fixture library, and they actually have the hazer already set for you. So we can control it off. We could control it off your iPad that we're using for the lights, but just for the sake of not overloading you with the hazer duty that you love so much,
Thank you.
I'm gonna run it off here. So for our hazers, there's three basic settings. There's the on-off, which I could just do here. That brings the fader up, or I could just bring it up till it turns on, bring it down, it goes off. the fan speed, and then the intensity of the haze. So this took me all of about 30 seconds to get. I just had to assign the DMX starting channel, which when you set the profile up, it'll allow you to select where do you want to start the starting address. That's all that's to it. I'm not even building any scenes. In fact, I don't know where this came from. Don't even need it. I'm just going to be controlling it with the faders here, since I'll be doing most of the mixing off the console. But future, the plan is to cut down. Some of you guys have commented on how many light controllers we have. Technically, we could be controlling the hazer through Luminaire on our other ones. And once we get past this, and then that'll be the next step, and we'll show you that when we get there.
Yay!
They still got the music playing. I never heard it before. Got through with our break. Here's monitor world. They got 2 XRs, and I think they're just connected to that one for the ears. So we're just got our inputs into this one right here. But the stake is working great. So kudos to Seismic Audio for making a portable gear for when you need it, or if you take care of it, for sure. But this is working out great for us, and I'm glad I did not get rid of that analog stake. The other good note is the system. It's plenty for what we got for this music, so I'm happy with that. I'm extremely happy with our hazer tonight. I did not do a video on replacing the pump on this thing, because when I did it, I was pretty frustrated, just kind of with the whole thing. But if I have to take this thing apart again, I will definitely share that with you guys. Stage boxes are working. The one thing I will say about the Seismic Audio, we can't see it, is that the channel printing starts on the top, I believe. Or no, it's on the bottom. And that was messing me up. It was dark back here. I ended up plugging stuff into the wrong channel at first, but got that figured out. Stacy, I don't know if she's getting under the weather. She's kind of tired tonight. But it's going well, so we'll get to capture some more of the next set.
lessons I learned in darkness, you can help me. Sticking on down the street. Footprints so dressing me. When the whisper will Carson, was that a good ride for you? Oh yeah. Just play with it, Carson. Just play. Just have some fun. There's other things you can play with while you're getting ready.
1 o'clock. We were done a little after 11:30, and we've been on the road about 5-10 minutes. We got out of there, I would say, a really good time.
Did any of that just make sense? That didn't add up in my brain, but it's late. It's 1 o'clock. Yeah, we got out of there. We got out of there really fast, or we in our usual time. Well, that was a different experience for us, Stacy, a little bit.
Yeah, kind of cool because we've been there at the venue, but with a different band. So,
and this was truly, really an easy night. Just working with those guys was easy. The kind of the arrangement. Sometimes it can get a little complicated, but they knew what they were doing. They knew what they would want. I didn't even touch the monitors. They just dialed them in to what they wanted the wedges at, and they dealt with their own in-ears. It was just a really good change for us, and different music, and they brought in a lot of people. They probably had 25-30 people in there, Stacy.
yeah, they did.
The only not easy thing is me not being able to see in the dark, and our snake, I'm not used to it, and I was off a roll on some channels, and I was a little bit frazzled there for a minute, going, why aren't the channels working? And I saw some other channels working, and it's just because I had stuff down a line. But hey, you know, that splitter is great. I don't know the next time we'll use it. The lights worked great. The fogger worked. I had it all the way down.
That worked really well tonight.
So the efficiency, the efficiency of it was just tremendous. Hey.
You mean it was doing what it was supposed to do?
Fogger.
Yeah.
Well, like I said earlier, Stacy, I think I lost a foundation, or I lost the baseline of how that thing should work, just because I don't think it ever really worked right for, a couple of years. I don't know. I think we've had it now 3-4 years, and yeah. So now we know, and it works great in Luminaire. So we have that as an option. I don't know, next time we're going to be back at that club. We mentioned it's one of our favorites. It's just easy. The room sounds good. Staff is good. The food is good. All that stuff. So we like it there. So hopefully we'll have another gig there. I don't have anything else, Stace. You want to wrap up?
Sure. As always, we love reading your comments, and don't forget to subscribe and like all the good stuff.